how I've lived brighter through wellness. I've lost my health and gained it back through many, many different kinds of steps, which I'll be teaching you. I'll be also teaching you a formula, a simple formula that you can take away and utilize for your life. And finally, I'll be giving you practical steps, certain things that you can do right at home and in your workplace to get healthier and brighter. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I am a professional speaker, and I've been speaking for the last 10 years, trained over 100,000 people, and have authored 4 books. I've been very blessed with my life, but I've not been so lucky all the way. I've lost my health before, like I said, but I've run many, many different workshops for people. And one of the big things for them is to have a healthier and better lifestyle, because that's the key for better productivity. I've conducted all kinds of workshops and programs, and you can see some pictures here of the ones that I have conducted. And I've made many TV appearances talking about the importance of a healthy body and healthy mind. And very, very blessed, I have also won multiple awards, including the Asia's Best Brand and the Global Branding Awards. So very, very lucky in the work that I have done. And because of how I've done it in a very practical, simple way for the everyday person to get healthier in terms of their body and the mind, in terms of getting the most of their productivity, there are many, many newspapers and magazines that have covered me. Now, I didn't start off becoming a healthy person. In fact, I started off wanting to climb the corporate ladder. I was a lawyer, and then I became an investment banker, and finally I became an entrepreneur. And what's that 3 jobs, the 3 things that are similar to these jobs? Well, they are extremely stressful and very, very time consuming. So because of the stress and the time, I've led a very unhealthy lifestyle. And by that time, I was very overweight, 25 kilos overweight. Yes, 25 kilos overweight. So here's a picture of me, 25 kilos overweight. Now I'm smiling over here, but I was feeling really, really down. And something really happened to my life which shifted me, because my business was suffering at that time. Now, while I was running multiple businesses, all of them was really challenging for me. And because of the challenges in the business, my emotions were all over the place. I fell into a very deep depression. And due to that depression, I lost the relationship that I have. My marriage broke down and I fought with my wife. It was a terrible time in my life. And once the marriage broke down and my business really crumbled, I decided that I needed to change my lifestyle. I needed to turn things around. And the first thing I did was to get myself back in shape. Now, I was sleeping late every single night. Every night I was sleeping late, I was not eating well, and I was hardly exercising. But most importantly, I was not taking care of my emotions, my deep inside. So I decided to switch my lifestyle, started waking up very early at 5:30 in the morning and started exercising. And I fell in love with the fact that exercise, eating well, taking care of my emotions, all of these things really helped to bring me back, really helped to lift that depression and get me back on track. And I'm very proud to say I've started losing that weight very, very quickly with certain kinds of strategies. It's really very important when it comes to exercise, nutrition, and emotions for us to know the right strategies, because we waste a lot of time doing things which are not so important. And upon doing all of that, I managed to lose that 25 kilos and got myself onto the cover of Men's Health magazine. Yes, that's really me. This was the magazine that I always read when I was younger. And I've got into this peak performance state. And by that time, I was so interested in living a healthy lifestyle. I realized that I wanted to teach people about this. I started going out and telling people that the body and the mind is connected. If you really want to have peak performance in terms of your mental state, you need to have that physical state, that wellness to live a brighter life. And that's why I'm telling you all of these things. Now, today's topic of wellness is a lifestyle, live brighter, is a short but impactful one. I do hope by the end of it, you will get not just strategies, but a formula that you can utilize for the rest of your life. I'm going to share with you right now. So please do pay attention. The formula that I have for you is N times E times E times F equals to W. Each one of these elements means something. By the end of this talk, you will know what each one of them mean. All right, so let's jump into it. The first of it, the N, is nutrition. And we all know what we eat is really what happens to us. But I'm going to start off with something very interesting. I'm going to share with you a picture of a car. Now, this car right here is the Lamborghini Aventador. This is my dream car. It's a super fast car. You can go from 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds. And it's got 700 horsepower. It's built like a dream. I really wish I have this car, but I don't have it right now. It's just a little toy by the side of my desk. But this car requires a certain type of fuel. Now, when you go and purchase this car, what's going to happen is the seller will tell you, you cannot just put in any kind of simple fuel. It has to be the premium racing fuel. Because with the premium racing fuel, you will get that 700 horsepower. You will get that 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds. Now, even a car like this that's built so well requires the right fuel. And it's the same thing with our bodies, because our body is built in a way, this is the greatest creation of all time. But you need to put the right things inside. When you don't put the right things inside, all kinds of issues happen. And it's not just these issues, your performance in terms of your physical and mental and emotional state will be affected. Now, I'm going to teach you a concept that's really simple called the acid and alkaline balance. You see, our bodies have this balance of acidity and alkalinity at all times. Sometimes it falls into the acidic state, sometimes it falls into the alkaline state. But what we want to do is to get our bodies into the alkaline state. Because just imagine, just like an alkaline battery is a powerful, strong battery, and it lasts for a long time. So we want the same things for our body. We want our body to last. We want our body to be full of energy and to be fighting disease. So we got to get our body into the alkaline state. But what happens when our body gets into the acidic state instead? So the acidic state causes a lot of issues. One of the main issues is your metabolism slows down. And when the metabolism slows down, you know what happens. You will start putting on weight. I think that's what everybody is trying to do right now, trying to get into a slimmer state, trying to lose weight. So acidity has a lot to do with weight gain. The second thing about acidity is that a lot of microorganisms and bacteria, which grows inside your intestines, inside your gut, and it starts eating your nutrients. Even though you eat very healthily, these microorganisms will eat those nutrients. Hence, you'll get very much less vitamins and minerals that you need. Acidity also causes the high blood pressure. And we know high blood pressure is that very big risk factor for heart disease. Plenty of people today have high blood pressure. It also creates a lot more toxins in your body. This acidic state leaves this toxin in our body, and we have to get rid of it by overworking our liver and our kidneys. So the liver and kidneys then have further issues if you keep overloading it with toxins. And finally, acidity causes this thing called cellular mutation. Mutations in your cells, which can lead to big diseases like cancer. So you could see from this particular image right here that acidity is not what we want to have. But unfortunately, most of the things that we eat causes acid. All that food that we like to eat outside that is very heavy, that's gravy-like, that's spicy, and very processed with a lot of sugar, all these food causes acidity. And you know, when you get acidity, because your body will start feeling hot, your body will start feeling heaty, and your energy levels do drop. So what I'd like to share with you is that no, we don't have to stop eating these foods, but we should balance it. It's about a balance. And the best way to balance it is when you're eating this type of food, to balance it with alkaline food. So I'm going to share with you my top 5 alkaline food. And I suggest that you can also go off right after this to go and purchase these foods because they're not difficult to find. And the first of all is almonds. Now, this nut right here is a really powerful, impactful nut. I would say it's the healthiest nut you can find. The best way to get almonds is to get the raw ones, and you can get them from markets or wholesalers rather than buy them from the shopping centers or the supermarkets because the markups are really high, and just bake them for a while. 10 minutes at 250 degrees or just in your ovenette, that's fine. The oils will come out and it becomes really crispy and really tasty. Now, all you have to do is just consume 5 to 10 almonds, 5 to 10 pieces of almonds every single day. The second one is a really simple one, which pretty much everybody could do right even at home right now. Maybe you might have it in your fridge. That is to get a lemon or a lime and squeeze it into a glass of water. Yes, squeeze a little bit of that juice into the glass of water and put the entire slice of lemon into the water. Leave it for only 10 seconds, shake it around, and drink that water. That's it. Now, what happens is that lemon or lime alkalizes this water. This water becomes alkaline water, and it's really healthy water. I suggest this first thing in the morning. It detoxifies your entire system, and you'll be going to the toilet really very quickly after this. So lemon or lime. If you're eating spicy and difficult food, try your very best to have a glass, ask the restaurant for lemon or lime, and just squeeze a little bit of that juice and put it into the water. The third one is cucumbers. And these are really the essential, very important vegetables, but they have always been sidelined. They're always put to the side of a particular dish. But you'll notice that this particular vegetable is filled with a cooling effect. And that's because the water in cucumbers are all alkaline water. Now, I highly suggest when you're eating spicy food or you're eating deep fried food, just have slices of cucumbers. If you're buying it from a store, ask for additional cucumbers, and you can pay a little bit more for those cucumbers and consume them while eating those slightly unhealthy food. These cucumbers are just a great addition to your dishes. The fourth one are chia seeds. Now, some of you may know these chia seeds. They're just little black dots that looks like mini sesame seeds. And these chia seeds are really powerful. It's packed with antioxidants, and it really reduces that acidity in our body. All you have to do is just get some chia seeds and add it to a little bit of water. You can add it to that lemon or lime water too, making it a better detoxifying drink. Or you can take a little bit, like probably a quarter scoop of it, and add it to your salads, add it to your cereal. And personally, I like to add it to my egg. Yeah, to my fried eggs. And it gives a little bit of crunchiness, but at the same time, you know it's something totally healthy. And the last one is the ever-present garlic. In a lot of the Asian cooking, garlic is one of those keys. And really, this is one of the best healing type of herbs. And garlic, all you have to do is just slice them, cook them, and you can eat it raw right too. Personally, I like to bake them. I like to bake them together with the roast chicken and the fish. And I just take them whole, like the entire clove together with the meat that I'm eating. Okay, so these are the 5 alkaline food. And what I do suggest for all of you out there who's eating a lot of the heavy, fried, processed type of food, and especially those fast foods, if you're eating a lot of that, do think of adding these 5 different foods. Go over to the supermarket, right after this or the rest of tomorrow and go and purchase these foods. I personally keep them in my pantry at all times. At all times. Okay, so the first thing we want to take note of is the N, which is the nutrition. Let's go to the second point. The second point is exercise. And we all know this is really, really important. Exercise. Personally, this has transformed my life. I've lost all that weight and feel super energetic at the age I'm in right now in order for me to perform all those things, all those goals and achieve those goals that I want. But exercise forms an important part. But the question that everybody have is, what exactly is exercise? What is considered exercise? Is walking and a type of exercise, or just very slow jogging? Is that exercise? Or do you need to get a racing bike and go racing, go to the different kinds of slopes up and down, or mountain biking? Or would gardening or housekeeping be a good form of exercise? So that's really a very important thing for us to define. We need to know what exactly is exercise. So I'm going to teach you what exactly is exercise, but we're going to do an interesting activity. And I'm going to ask all of you, no matter where you are, to participate in this activity. What we're going to do is we are going to move our body. Okay. All right. So just listen up, people. Wherever you are, if you are at home, watching from either an iPad or a desktop or a laptop, great. I want your hands to be free when you're doing this. If you are on a mobile phone, just try to prop it up somewhere with a backing or a stand so that your hands are free. I need you to be able to move a little bit. All right, do participate because it's not a difficult one, but it comes with it's fun and it comes with a great lesson. Okay, let's do this. All right, so here's the instructions. Get ready. And if you do have kids listening in too, ask them to participate together with you. It's gonna be fun. All right, now we're gonna do an activity called the hand sprint. The hand sprint. Now, I want you to imagine that you are Usain Bolt, the sprinter, and we're going to sprint for 100 meters. This is the race of your life. But you're going to do it seated in front of the computer or in front of your phone. And all you have to do is just stay put, but imagine doing the hand movement of Usain Bolt, just the hand movement. So let's try this. I want you to get your right hand up like this, and your left hand just to the back, right? Make sure it goes to the back like this. And we're going to swing it like this. And the swings shouldn't be small mini swings. It should be swinging your hands while using your entire force of your body, really doing it with a lot of energy. But we're not going to do it for long. We're just going to do it for 30 seconds. And there will be a countdown timer you can see right at the back of me here. It's going to come with music, and I'm going to spur you to really sprint. As we go closer to that zero, I want you to go even faster. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Get ready. Put your hands up and get ready. When I count to 3, we're going to go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go. I want you to swing your hands using your entire force. This is the race of your life. Keep going. Right, we've got 20 seconds, so even faster now. Even faster. I want you to go faster than you can, just as fast as you can when we reach 10. Ready, go! Very quickly. Swing your hands. Almost there. Just imagine you're at the final sprint. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Put up your hands, people. Well done, and give yourself a clap. Okay. Thanks for doing that with me, guys. But I want you to notice right now, even for me, I'm breathing hard and my heart is pumping. Please put into the chat if your heart is pumping after doing that hand sprint. Let me know. Just say yes, my heart is pumping, or just say yes if your heart is pumping. I'm trying to catch my breath right now. Now, you'll notice this. All right. Thanks for putting in all those answers, people. I can see a lot of the answers coming in. It does get your heart pumping. And even for somebody like me, even I'm very conditioned and I'm fit, but it does get my heart pumping. And that's what I'm trying to tell all of you. Because you see, the important thing is for us to understand it's about your heart. Exercise is about your heart. You got to get your heart rate up. That's what exercise is. As long as you get your heart rate up, you get your heart pumping, that's considered exercise. But you have to sustain it for a while. You have to sustain it for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, right? And any activity will count. You got to do it for 3 to 5 times a week too. So the best is 20 minutes to 30 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. It is better for you to do it in short spurts, but many times a week, rather than just one very long one on a Sunday. But the best thing is, and the most important thing about this point, is that any activity is fine. But just take note, it's a physical activity. Physical activity. So it cannot be, I'm watching a horror movie and oh, my heart's starting to pump. And you consider that to be exercise. Eugene says that's exercise. No, that's not exercise. It must be a physical activity. So whether it's walking, whether it's running, cycling, and even doing housework and gardening, as long as your heart is pumping, as long as it raises your heart rate, that's considered exercise. But of course, it is not cutting your bonsai plant, feeling really zen. Your heart rate's not going to go up when you do that. Okay, so it's about your heart. Take note, as long as you have your heart pumping and you're doing it for 20 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week, it is considered exercise. So let's not confuse things too much. A lot of people look at exercise to be something they have to go to the gym, they have to do some kind of yoga class or maybe kickboxing class. That's all great as long as it gets your heart rate up. But we could always do it at home. Now, I know in these current times, in these COVID times, it is difficult for us to go and do sporting activities. It is difficult for us to go to the gym. And for you, those of you going for classes, it is difficult too. But just take note, if the definition of exercise is anything that gets your heart rate up, you could do it at home. You could even do it with your kids while playing a dance game. Just go on YouTube, download a dance game, and just follow the dance moves. It's really a bonding activity. Okay, so that's exercise, and that's the E. Let's go to the next E. So there are 2 E's, and the next E is the E of emotions. All right, emotions are super important. We have to take charge of our emotions. The problem is most of us are stressed out. We are very stressed out right now. But let's understand what happens to our body when we are stressed. Whenever we are stressed out, our brain recognizes that something is dangerous. Now, this danger then puts us into a state where the brain sends a signal to these adrenal glands, certain glands in our body that produces hormones. And these adrenal glands secretes these hormones, and then it races through our body, giving us that feeling of stress. So this physiology, this thing that's happening inside of a body is something that's subconscious. We don't really need to think about it. We can't really fully control it. And it's just that our brain recognizes this danger. And that stress hormones, which are often called cortisol, races through our body, giving us that feeling. But what's that exact feeling that we have? Well, it is called the fight or flight response. Now, it's a very interesting name, fight or flight, which is running response. This feeling is equivalent to the ones where you have a higher heart rate, your heart starts beating faster, your muscles gets tensed up, your breathing gets constricted, and then your breathing is usually very shallow and quick, and then your blood pressure just shoots up to the sky. So fight or flight response that creates this kind of feelings inside of us. It's very similar to that feeling. I want you to imagine that you are just walking down a very dark tunnel. And as you're walking this dark tunnel, you notice that somebody who's very suspicious, this dark, big guy who's following you. He has his hands in his pocket, he has a hood on, and he's creepy looking. Now, as you notice him, what's going to happen to you? Your heart starts pounding. Your breath starts going faster. Your muscle gets tensed up. And you are basically in that fight or flight response. Now, that fight or flight response gives you that energy in order for you to either fight this guy or flight, which is run away as quickly as possible. So this fight or flight response is a subconscious thing. I'm trying to tell you it's subconscious. We don't really think about it. It just continues to happen to us. But of course, it doesn't happen very often that somebody is just following behind our back like that. But there's always the dangers that's happening on a daily basis. What are the dangers? The dangers of the financial crunch, the dangers of not having a job, the dangers of paying all those bills, the dangers of our children misbehaving, and the conflicts that we have, the dangers of the problems of the world. There are tons of things that stresses us out right now. And the feeling is exactly the same. It is not any different from that fight or flight response that I just mentioned to you. So it is really important for us to train our mind to relax. We need to learn how to relax. And I say train your mind. It's not just telling your mind to relax. You need to do certain kinds of exercises that helps in relaxation. One of them is the basic meditation, or suggest something called guided meditation. Guided meditation is with music and usually with someone who tells you to close your eyes, to relax your toes, to take deep breaths in, to clear your mind. Somebody that guides you. Because often, when it comes to meditation, our mind just goes all over. Or the other thing you could try is visualization. And I like the type called forest visualization because I'm a nature kind of guy. And it's just closing your eyes to visualize a forest, to imagine that you're walking in, of course, a comfortable, cool, very peaceful forest filled with sounds of the forest, like the birds and the bees. And often you can find them on YouTube with really the sound of the birds. So just go and search on YouTube the words forest visualization or guided meditation, and you'll find tons of videos that you can utilize. Of course, just make sure that they are not too long, something that's just nice for your purpose. And the last one you want to try is called progressive relaxation. Now, this is really, really easy. Progressive relaxation is just telling yourself to relax certain parts of your body part by part. So you can start with the head. You can do a seated position like the picture of the lady right there, and just close your eyes and try to relax, say, the top of your head, followed by your eyes, followed by your nose, and followed by your mouth, and followed by your neck, and then your shoulders. That's progressive relaxation. The word progressive means part by part. And really, it's not difficult at all. There's no technicality in the whole thing. All you have to do is just make sure you go part by part. And that's a really very nice one, especially for those people who find that they cannot sleep. All right, so that's the E, the emotions. And let's go to that F right now. What's that F? That F is the F of finance. Now, often people disregard this section, this segment, this element. Finance is equally important in our lives because it is really the river, the lifeblood of all the things that we want. Having enough money is really the key to overall wellness. And proper financial planning just prevents all that stress that can come from us, especially when there are unexpected crises. And you would know, especially in these COVID times, these unexpected crises can come at any time. It helps us to prepare for a better future. And it also helps us a lot by making a big difference to the world. I want to share with you. Personally, for me, I've always thought that I just wanted that health, that healthy living. But I started to realize that having enough funds or having enough money is so important because it helps me to make that difference to the world. And I do want to share with you one of my own personal experience right here. I've gone over to the poorest countries, and one of them is Myanmar. And I found that all these people were stuck right there with no proper education. So my wife and I, you can see the picture right down there, my wife and I went to this particular village to decide to build a school. Yeah, you can see the pictures of the school right here. And we used the local resource. We got them all kinds of abilities to do some jobs while paying them. So with the right type of finance, we have this ability to live the kind of life that we want. It really helps you to fulfill your dreams. Now, it's really important for us to find and be recognized the opportunities that are in front of us. And since this particular talk is brought to you by Sun Life, you may want to explore the career with Sun Life because this is a great company that can help you to achieve your dreams and give you that overall wellness as well. All right, a career with Sun Life is just might be just upon the horizon for you. All right, so let's go back to the formula. And the formula that I have for you is N times E times F equals to W. Let's do a quick recap on all those points. The first is nutrition, eating well. It is so important for us to eat well, but it is more of a balance rather than saying that I'm going to cut out all the unhealthy food. The second is to exercise. And I want you to think of exercise as not something difficult, not that you have to join a gym or a class. It's something that you can do at home as well. Just do it regularly, consistently, and it doesn't have to be hard as long as you get your heart rates up. The third is the emotions. We need to take care of our emotions because it is such a stressful time right now. And everybody from all the way to the corporate world, to the entrepreneurial world, and to any of these freelancers, everybody's feeling that stress. So we must manage it. And the best ways are just to do relaxation exercises that I've taught you earlier on. And finally, is that finance. It's important for us to believe that money, that finance gets us that overall wellness and overall balance, and also helps to elevate our lifestyle, protects us against that stress, and gives us the ability to live our dreams. All right. Now, before going, I want to share with you something that you can all take back. And I know 2022 is not turning out to be the year that we want it to be, but we all can be mentally tougher. And I want to motivate all of you too. So I'm going to give you something right now. All you have to do is take out your phones and scan this QR code, or alternatively, go to mentaltoughnessexpert.com/handout, and I'll be giving you a PDF on 10 steps to be mentally tougher in 2022, plus motivational emails. All of these free of charge, totally sent to your emails. Because the most important thing is for us to be stronger in our minds, stronger in our body, stronger in our emotions in order for us to achieve our goals. And this is my gift to all of you. So if you haven't done it, please scan this QR code or just go to this particular link. All right, guys, I'd like to thank all of you really for paying your full attention up to this point. I know it's not a long talk, and I've gone through some of these points in a short and simple way, but I do hope you've got all that value. Now, importantly, it is all up to us. We want to understand that wellness is a lifestyle because all of us must invest time and effort into each of those elements of wellness that I have just taught you. It's up to us to make it happen. It is our choice, and we have to make that choice. And finally, I want to also highlight that Sun Life can help you achieve a brighter life with wellness, all those elements that I've mentioned, plus that important point of great income. So if you are listening in today there is an opportunity for all of you. And I hope that you will open up your mind to the opportunity in front of you. And with that, guys, thank you very much for listening in. I'm going to hand back to Sarika.
Thank you, Eugene, for the inspiring talk. Your quick exercise energizes my body and soul. I will practice before my other MC shows for sure. What about you? Let's have a quick check on your level of wellness. Just type your answer in the chat box. Which wellness is the most important to you? Financial, health, mental, or all of the above? And yes, all financial, health, and mental wellness are equally important. I know what's in your mind. What's the next step? Let's take a look.
If you want to have a work-life balance career, achieve financial freedom, run your own business, you are ready to join this big family.
Are you willing to grab this opportunity for yourself today? You can have extraordinary career in Sun Life if you take the first step right now. The sky is the limit. Become part of us. 心動不如行動，我哋快啲把握呢一個機會。
Join us today and act now. Bergabunglah bersama kami hari ini dan segera daftarkan diri Anda untuk mengikuti ujian lisensi sekarang juga.
Join us today and act now. Hãy tham gia ngay hôm nay.